Jules, look, I know your strategy for the summer league is to stack your lineup with middle of the pack guys. But if you had to pay up for a high priced DFS play, who would it be?
Well, there's this perception that I'm such a stubborn person, but I do admit when I am wrong. And I was wrong when we did this on Tuesday. Nick and Kenny both said that Payton Pritchard was worth paying up for again. I said that it could be another guy for the Celtics that game. And while Aaron Nesmith did have a huge game, Payton Pritchard had a massive game again as well. So if it is not broke, don't fix it. Payton Pritchard, $9,300. He's averaging 49 DraftKings points. He have 44 and 54 through these two games. He doesn't need many minutes to do it. The ball's in his hands. He's going to be shooting threes. He's been racking up assists, which is just part of the Celtics' talent advantage of having all these mid to late first round picks, even from a few years back, like guys like Romeo Langford in the summer league. So I'm just going to keep going with Payton Pritchard against Orlando here to continue his success.
Yeah, Kenny, Jules mentioned last game out, 54 fantasy points. How do we feel about a guy you're paying up for? Maybe it's Payton Pritchard.
It's always a good idea to pay up for Payton Pritchard. Look, I like Tyrese Maxey here at $8,600. It's a little cheaper than the really, really high price guys. And when you look at this guy, I mean, he is arguably, to me, one of the 10 most talented offensive players that we have in Summer League right now. A top 10 offensive talent. He's a great scorer. His first Summer League game against Dallas, 25 minutes, 21 points, almost 40 DraftKings fantasy points. This is a guy that has dropped 30 points twice already in the NBA. His career high, 39 points coming in January. So I think that he has the talent here to break through an Atlanta team that's been really, really strong, but probably doesn't have the quite the perimeter defense to contain Tyrese Maxey. I think his shot creation here is very important. He took 15 shots in his first Summer League game. You want to see that volume. You want to see a guy that's a daring shooter, going to take a lot of shots, going to be a little selfish. And I think that's what Maxey's going to do. He's going to just create. He's going to hit buckets. And I think that he's going to hit value and much more for you at $8,600.
All right, Kenny. Well, that's not like the most expensive guy on the slate, but what about some more value, like really a value play here?
Yeah, I think I said hit buckets. That's not right. Look, I've been looking down in the 5,000s to 4,000s. There's a lot of intriguing options. Sadly, no Deuce McBride on this slate. But here's a guy that I like. He went to a college by the name of UVM, the University of Vermont. Anthony Lamb, $5,500. This guy is a great, great scorer. He's a great shooter. He didn't have to do that much from a shooting perspective to hit 26 DraftKings fantasy points against Detroit because he racked up 8 rebounds along with 2 assists, a couple steals. I think that this is a very talented offensive scorer as well. And I think that the Rockets here, they've shown that they want to use him 20 and 24 minutes respectively in his first 2 games in Vegas. He's a guy that, he can get hot from the perimeter. He's a guy that is going to shoot the basketball when it's in his hands. And we just haven't really seen that yet, but we've seen him produce in all the other categories so far, especially in the rebounding department. I think that size and that ability to shoot the ball could create another good game for him. I think he could maybe hit 30 DraftKings fantasy points. And again, $5,500, all you're really looking for is, 27, 28 points, and you're pretty happy. I think he could do that and more.
Jules, where are you looking for value?
I'm going to go with another Rocket. He's a couple $100 cheaper. He's playing a couple more minutes per game so far. He is absolutely not filling it up from the outside, and that is Josh Christopher, who is 1 of 8 from downtown so far in 28 and 27 minutes in the 2 games so far for the Rockets. Maybe he drops a couple more threes, not a great three-point shooter, but maybe the upside is there. He's at least taking them. But this kid the Rockets don't have really point guards. I mean, Lamb is there, but they don't really have point guards on this roster. So Christopher's been handling the ball a lot from the pieces of Houston games that I've watched. So 11 assists so far total in those 2 games. Decent rebounder, but he's a physical guard. He's been going to the hoop. He's averaging 14 points per game through these 2 games. So, a lot of attention obviously on Jalen Green and our guy Alperen Şengün, but Christopher is having a really good rookie season so far in these summer league games, and I don't see why that would stop. He's a guy that should get you about 30 DraftKings points in this game.
All right, put your sportsbook hat on now, Julian. Is there a summer league game spread that you're always on that you're enticed by?
Yeah, I gave out the Celtics -5 on Tuesday. They were a landslide blowout victory. They're 2-0 in summer league. I tweeted them out at -3 this morning. I think they're at 3.5, 4 now. That's fine with me. I'll lay it with the Celtics, who are playing the Magic. They'll get Jalen Suggs, really good talent, but Wagner's been a little shaky so far. Cole Anthony has looked awful. Can't buy a bucket. I don't think that the Magic roster really has much. Whereas, like I said, the Celtics Summer League roster, Danny Ainge had taken a lot of heat in Boston for stockpiling all these draft picks and not doing anything with them. What that does mean is that they have a lot of mid to late first rounders, a lot of legitimate talent on this roster. I think that the Magic are a little bit more talented than the Nuggets team that they blew out on Tuesday. So maybe they hang around a little bit longer. But in the end, I think this is going to be a convincing victory for the Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics -3.5 favorites now. Kenny, what do you think?
Not a bad call. I'm going to go back to that game that Julian was just alluding to where they blew out the Denver Nuggets. I like the Denver Nuggets to win here tonight against the Phoenix Suns. They're -125 on the money line. I think I would take that. -1.5 probably works as well. This is a team with a lot of big bodies that I think will bully this Summer League Suns, who arguably have been just as bad, if not worse, of late than the Nuggets here in Vegas. You look at guys like Devontae Burton, Samaj Christian at guard, who's got some size, and Marcus Howard, who can really fill it up. They have a lot of offensive talent. Tariq Black is on this team as well, if you remember him. So, and of course, Ball has been fantastic. I think that they have enough talent here to overcome the Phoenix Suns, who just are a little underwhelming from a talent standpoint with their roster and with their performance as well. I think this is a pretty good price. It's a pretty good Summer League team. They're one of the favorites to win it all, and I think that they get back on track here.
95 degrees and Kenny's out here betting against the sun. What a time to be alive.
I've been fighting the sun all week. Really. It's been tough.
Yeah. I mean, all three of us have the complexions that definitely need sunscreen. So, Kenny, how about a Summer League game total that you're enticed by?
Look, I think that it makes sense why the Magic and Celtics are at 173.5, which is a ridiculously high total. You have a lot of talented scorers on the Boston Celtics, who I believe in. But look, even if one of them, right, even if Aaron Naismith has a bad shooting night, or Payton Pritchard or Carson Edwards, I think that this has a very good chance of going under, considering the Magic, their guys have been really, really bad. RJ Hampton and Cole Anthony, who was a big fail on my part by recommending him yesterday. He's been shooting terribly. RJ Hampton's not looked good as well. So this is a team that has some talent, but they've really just underwhelmed so far at Vegas. I don't think they're going to be able to score enough here against a just competent Boston defense. And I think that alone probably drives this game under a very, very high number. I know it's not fun taking the under, especially in Summer League, especially with unlimited fouls or whatever, 10 fouls. But I just don't think they get there.
Jules, what do you think? A game total that you're liking here?
I am not going to lie. I can't figure out how to bet totals in Summer League. There's unlimited fouls. You don't know what you're going to get from certain teams. You don't know who's going to play for certain teams. So I can't do it. So I'm just going to give you another team that I like. And that would be the Houston Rockets, -3.5 against the Toronto Raptors. The Rockets have been pretty dominant so far in Summer League. That showdown with Cade Cunningham, they were 3.5-point dogs, I think, and closed as favorites. They covered and won that one handily. I think they just keep rolling against this Raptors squad where Scotty Barnes took a little step back in the second game after a huge debut. And they don't have that much else on that roster, whereas Houston has 3 first-round picks. They have a guy in Lamb that Kenny talked about. Houston has a lot of talent. So this one's moving, I think, and I'll just like I'm laying the 3.5 with the Celtics, I'll lay the 3.5 with the Rockets and not have to think about all these totals and what's going to happen.
Take a total, you coward.
No.
He doesn't know what he doesn't know, Kenny. And
I play to my strengths. We've been over this.
Well, this will be, you can play to your strengths on this one. Do your thing and hit us with that slate approved pick. Jules, favorite bet or DFS play tonight in the NBA Summer League? You can go to DFS if you don't want to talk betting.
No. I like the betting side of things more than the DFS side, I would say. And it's going to be the Celtics, the first play that I gave out. I think that they are arguably the most talented team here in Las Vegas. And they're playing their guys pretty decent minutes. Guys like Pritchard and Naismith are doing a lot with, even just 20 to 25 minutes. So I trust them to get there and going, you're going against the backcourt of Suggs and Anthony. I think that kind of scares people. But when you just go down the talent on these rosters, I don't think it's too close. I think the Celtics continue to blow teams out.
All right, slate approved, Kenny.
Sharif Cooper is only $6,300, and you can't ignore how much playing time this guy is getting. 28 and 29 minutes in his first 2 Summer League games. He hit the game-winning shot against Indiana. 37.25 DraftKings fantasy points in that one. He took 14 shots. Look, he might not hit 8 of his 14 again and 5 from 3, but look, he's taking a lot of shots. He's playing a lot of minutes. You can't ignore him at this price. He's definitely a guy that the Hawks are going to get the ball in his hand.